At the start of the story, we meet a fisherman casting his net into the sea to catch fish. He had done this many times before, but today, don't know what happened, and his net got stuck somewhere in the sea. To get it out, he jumped into the sea, but he couldn't come back because a swarm of fish had surrounded him. In Germany, we now see Charlie sitting in the lighthouse, who suddenly gets a wrong signal from the sea and goes into the sea with her companion, where she sees her marine tracker stuck in a fishing net. The scene cuts and now shifts to Canada. Here Leon, who researches whalefish, has come to the shore of the sea because he has found a huge injured whale dead on the shore of the sea. According to the local fishermen, this whale tried to attack his boat, and in an attempt to save himself, the whale was injured by him. Again in Germany, we see Charlie, who is now putting a new marine tracker in the sea so that he can keep an eye on all the animals living there and get information about them. Here in Canada, Leon traces the abnormal behavior of whales, and he also tells his friend about this, who was a tourist guide, but now it was too late. That tourist had taken the boat to the middle of the sea. Leon also takes his boat to the middle of the sea and notices two whales. All the tourists were also enjoying the whale jumps in front of them. The next moment, the whale hit the boat in such a strange way that it broke into two parts, and all the tourists went into the water. Leon, who wanted to inform them about this from the beginning, quickly goes towards them and starts rescuing them, but in all this, he could not save his friend. The scene cuts and now shifts to a French restaurant where seafood was being made. A chef tries to cut a crab very skillfully. Then a strange white liquid jumped out of him and fell on his face. The chef washes his face and starts working again. He kept working like this till evening, but after the evening, his condition began to deteriorate. He even died. The condition of the two other chefs working in the Sam Hotel also deteriorated in a strange way. They had to go to the ICU. No one knew what happened to them. They start finding the reason. The scientists collect samples from a ship from the seabed. These samples were of ice worms, such insects that live in ice. These insects were never seen before. When these insects are examined in the lab, it is found that they have jaws and have the ability to produce many more babies than ordinary insects. Here we see that Leon has met a fisherman who himself had seen the incident of attacking a whale on a boat. Leon tells the police that not only that boat, but he had seen many such incidents the other day in which many big whales were attacking the boat. Hearing this, Leon goes out and sees the ship that had been sent to the sea for research. This time, some strange things were stuck to the bottom of the ship that had never been seen before. Leon sends them for research. Here, another ship is also sent to the middle of the sea, through which a sampler is sent to the shore of the sea, where the same strange worms were being born, on which they are doing research, but they were not able to collect the sample because of the damage to the ship. There was a very bad explosion. The people sitting on the ship survived, but now they were very scared. Here in the lab, scientists have reached the conclusion by doing research on the previously caught worms that there are some bacteria in these worms and they eat ice. By eating such ice, these people can go inside the sea many times. Now in Germany, where Charlie was already in the lighthouse, we notice a lot of alerts in the lighthouse, seeing which Charlie was also scared. Before she did anything, we are shown a strange whirlwind in the sea, which took the floating boat inside itself. Immediately after this, we were shown a city where two people were standing on the bridge talking to each other. The girl picks up the book in her friend's hand and drops it into the water. As the book fell into the water, they see a strange scene. At the same time, thousands of jellyfish had come to the surface of the sea. Here in the science lab, scientists were now researching on the bacteria that they had found on the chef's body, i.e. the liquid that came out of the crab and fell on his face. A surprising thing they also find out is that after the chef's accident, many people who visited the restaurant were either killed or badly ill. This is what we see that Leon has also come to ask for some permission from the scientist. He wanted to do an autopsy of that whale and wanted to see how the environment of pollution and air pollution is changing inside them and making their behavior so dangerous that they are attacking people. Leon doesn't get anything from that whale apparently, but from the brain of that whale, Leon gets a strange kind of substance, which he sends to the lab for research. Here, the scientist finds out that a man died in a strange way at the petrol pump. His sudden death bothered them all. After the research, it was found that he was also infected with the same bacteria that the chef was infected with. After his death, the scientist researched and realized that now this bacteria is spreading through the restaurant's water supply system. Leon also discovers that whales have attacked ships in various parts of the world, across different seas. This was shocking to him. Leon matches all the places shown on the map with a line, and then when it becomes a pattern, he guesses that these whales were migrating, and while migrating, strange behaviors were born inside them. Leon didn't want to waste time in knowing the reason for these things, so he jumps into the water with a camera. His mission was to put a camera on the sleeping whales in the depths of the sea, which he succeeds in doing. On the other hand, we find out that the people of Japan also found similar bacteria and worms on the surface of the sea, which Leon's team was researching, but they didn't tell the world about it. Leon's team can see through the camera placed on Leon's whale that an oil company had made a huge hole in the depth of the sea. They wanted to extract oil from here, but because of this, they destroyed the surface of the sea. There is another strange incident in the morning. A swarm of crabs have been found on the shores of the sea in many parts of the world. Many of them have been brought to the laboratory for testing. The same bacteria was present in the crabs that infected the chef. They test the bacteria, and they know that these bacteria absorb blood cells the fastest. In Germany, in a lighthouse, Charlie was getting strange sounds from the sea, which he also recorded and sent it to the laboratory for testing. Here the officials didn't pay much attention to these sounds, saying that it was just a random noise. But then when the scientists got more news of such sounds, they sent some research equipment and a whole team to Charlie. Before they could start their research here, they get an emergency message to evacuate this place immediately because there was going to be a terrible tsunami in the sea. It didn't take a minute to stop. They quickly get out of here in a helicopter with Charlie. On the other side, we are shown a press conference in which people were now being told about the bacteria found in the sea, and it was spreading through water supply. This bacteria also has the ability to kill humans by infecting them. This is what Leon tells all the fishermen there and says, "Leave the sea as soon as possible. The bacteria in the sea is killing humans." But the fishermen refuse to listen to him, saying that we have always lived in the sea. This coast is our world. We will not go to the ground. After all this, we are shown a meeting of scientists where many scientists were doing research on this incident, and they were thinking that how can this happen that suddenly a bacteria is born and it spreads so fast. Some scientists thought that this bacteria was deliberately spread by someone else, but some were not ready to believe this. Anyway, after this meeting, they now meet government officials and tell them that a bacteria born in the sea has affected the entire marine life. That means it has attacked all the animals that live in the sea. Animals are not dying from this, but when these same animals are eaten by humans, then that bacteria has also started infecting humans. All the government officials do not bother this much and tell the scientists that we have kept you to find the solutions to the problem, not to tell the problems. After it, they meet a well-known scientist in the world. That scientist reads the entire report of them and listens to the recordings on the report carefully and tells that these recordings are not an ordinary noise. She felt that all these voices were coming from such a world about which we do not know. Hearing this, the rest of the scientists are also surprised. Then the scientist said that my team had captured some such signals in Antarctica except for this scientist. A Japanese official also reads their report carefully, and even after knowing all this, he felt that those voices were not ordinary, rather, it is a huge threat to the world. He tells everyone that this scientist's experiment can save the world from a huge danger. Here, all the scientists were sitting in a meeting and discussing what could be the outcome of these voices. What dangers can they face and how can they be saved? Now whatever the scientist had to do, he had to do it by going to the Arctic Ocean. That's why everyone meets their family for the last time and starts their journey. According to the calculation of the scientist, most of the bacteria are in a valley of Antarctica, and it may also be that all these organisms and all these bacteria have been living there for thousands of years. No one should have come to know about them. They had already left for the journey. Everyone was on a ship and everyone was doing their duty. A reporter was also present on their ship who was taking everyone's short interview. Suddenly, the ship passes through such a place that all the signals inside the ship are interrupted for a minute. As this happens, all the scientists alert. They knew that now they were going to get a signal which may have been sent by the same mysterious organism on which they wanted to do research. Finally, they receive some signals from the ocean floor, in which the scientists record the crying of a child and send those signals back to the floor of Earth. The purpose of doing this was only to know that if there is a species on the ocean floor that wants to talk to them, or if there is another world living there so the people there could communicate with them. They could not depend on just signals. Charlie and her colleague descend to the ocean floor in an organic water capsule to inspect everything. As they go there, something strange happens to them. Their connection with the boat starts to end. Their oxygen level drops a lot, and in their capsule, strange functioning begins. Charlie's companion Pauline tries to take this capsule back up, but Charlie does not want this. She turns off the lights of her capsule and sees something shining here. After that, they come back to the boat with their capsule. A small compartment opens beneath the boat, allowing the capsule to be brought on board. When they go down, everyone asks them what they saw below. Charlie's companion says he did not see anything below, while Charlie was saying that she has seen a lot of shining light below. Now they were saying that they received more signals from the depth of the ocean, which was the answer to the crying voices of the children. It was clear that if there is any creature or species below, it has started talking to them. The returning signal was also of the crying voices of the children, but there were a lot of changes in them, and according to the scientist, it means that those bacteria can understand humans. They have transmitted this message to them by altering them. Now the scene inside the ship is shown inside the pool, which has Charlie's water capsule. At the same time, she was a journalist and was recording all the things here. Suddenly, she sees a lot of light inside the pool, and then she falls into the pool. As the scientists see these things, they immediately rescue this girl, and then in the test, it is found that the girl has also become infected with the same bacteria. When this happened, all the signals of the ship were interrupted once again. After all these signals were interrupted, they received a message from the species and bacteria living in the sea, and according to the scientist, this message was not received from the depth of the sea, but from inside the ship. Here the scientists were also busy treating the girl, where they now take out the fluid of the girl's spinal cord and test it. After testing, they find that the fluid of her spinal cord has become exactly the same as the fluid found in the animals living in the sea. It clearly meant that those bacteria changed the fluid of a spinal cord very quickly. Hearing this from the doctor, now Charlie also tells them the truth. She tells them that the water capsule through which they went down the sea, she had seen a lot of light on that water capsule. These may be the same bacteria that have entered their ship through their water capsule, about which Charlie's companion was denying. At this time, he receives another signal from the sea level. This was an audio footage in which a huge part of the sea was, and some humans were being shown. When everyone was busy looking at those signals, Charlie was standing near the pool. In the pool, a lot of lights were now visible to Charlie, and all those lights together were forming strange shapes. Here, now the Japanese officials who had given them permission to do this research also come to their boat through the helicopter. They see all the work done by the scientist and try to understand all this matter. The scientists had made a theory by finding the result of everything, according to which all those bacteria living under the ground are a community. They're some kind of species that have been living here on the sea level for thousands of years, and they don't want pollution to spread in the sea and spoil the sea. The only purpose of spreading all these bacteria in the sea is to get away humans from the sea and empty the sea for them, not to spread pollution in it. But how is it possible that a person would give all his water resources to another species? The Japanese president also asks these people. Then the scientists answer that that species has been answering our signals for a long time. It means that it wants to talk to us and wants to understand what we are saying. It is possible that we will make some kind of agreement with them to find a solution to all the problems. They were talking. Meanwhile, another scientist makes such a chemical there through which these bacteria can be killed. These people could have put this chemical in the entire sea, but their head scientist forbids them to do so. He was not even in the right to put this chemical in the ship's pool, but then most people decide that they will do this experiment. All the people stand near the ship's pool, and then that chemical is put inside that pool. Meanwhile, a strange explosion occurs in the water. A loud scream is heard by all of them, due to which all the glass things of the ship break. All the functions of these ships stop working, even the machinery, and so they get stuck in the sea. They wanted to get out of here as soon as possible, but they found out that the ice present in their aid is coming close to their ship strangely and capturing it. When they come out and see, they see a blue light below their ship, which was pulling their ship and taking it somewhere else. The captain of the ship is afraid to turn on the engine of the ship, but it was not turning on. They understood that when humans first polluted the water, these species only warned them while spreading the infection that they should not do this, but now when these scientists deliberately try to kill those species, now they were going to take revenge on them. This glow in the water is the species that these scientists had named Vairar, which was now taking the ship away from the control of humans. Here, the Japanese president asks the head scientist, "Why can't we put that chemical in the whole sea so that this species Vairar dies?" So these scientists answer that even if all the manufacturing companies in the world start making that chemical, still so much chemical cannot be made that this Vairar species in the sea can be killed. They now had only one solution to save humans, that they start listening to the species Vairar. Charlie now quickly brings the body of the journalist who had been infected by this Vairar species. They throw this body into the water to tell the species that they are ready to listen to everything because the signals inside the ship were not working. Through the water capsule through which they were sending the journalist into the water, Charlie sits in the water capsule. She then injects a liquid into her heart, which was created from the infection spread by the species liquid. After doing this, she opened the door of her capsule. She did not know what would happen to her now. As she opened the door, she began to float in the water. On the other hand, these species left their boat. All the ice particles around the boat were removed from the boat. We then see Charlie in the sea, surrounded by lights, as if they were protecting her. In the following scene, Charlie is shown on the shore. She is still alive when she opens her eyes. They shine like those of these species. This means that Charlie has achieved her goal. She has formed a friendship with these species. The series concludes by showing this.